You don't know? You damn well should know. My name is Reynolds, and I awoke this morning to find that one of the trending topics on Facebook was in relation to the so-called Council of Islamic Ideology, and how a powerful constitutional body in Islamabad has proposed legislation which would allow husbands to lightly beat their wives if she refuses to have sex with him. The legislation would also allow for husbands to beat their wives if they do not take a bath after their period, or if they do not dress how their husband instructs them to dress. And you know what? I am not surprised. The chairman of the Council of Islamic Ideology, Maulana Muhammad Khan Shirani, declared women to be un-Islamic and put forth many notable statements. We can divide all women in the world into two distinct categories: those who are haram and those who are makruh. Now the difference between haram and makruh is that the former is categorically forbidden, while the latter is really disliked. Do not hit her vindictively, but only for reminding her about her religious duties. Hit her in areas where her skin is not too thick and not too thin. Do not use shoes or a broom on the head, or hit her on the nose or eyes. Any woman that exercises her will is haram, absolutely haram, and is conspiring against Islam and the Ummah, whereas those women who are totally subservient can reach the status of being makruh. Such is the generosity of our ideology, and such is the endeavour of Muslim men like us, who are the true torchbearers of gender equality. We don't believe in Western ideals, and nothing that contradicts Islam should ever be paid heed. In any case, by giving women the higher status of being makruh, it's us Muslims who have paved the way for true Sharia-compliant feminism. Whether a woman is allowed to breathe or not should be left up to her husband or male guardian, and no woman under any circumstance whatsoever should be allowed to decide whether she can breathe or not. As terrible as these statements may be, I still cannot help but not be surprised that these things have been put forward by someone in such an elevated position in the Islamic community. I wish I could say that I was surprised, but I am just not. Of course, not all followers of Islam think this way, but there are certainly enough of them who do think this way in order for this sort of man to be in such a high and respected position in their community. We have heard so much about Islamic countries treating women terribly, and this is just another example of this despicable violation of human rights coming to light. But the thing that always gets me is the fact that feminists and other social justice activists are always the first to jump to the defense of Islam. Islam is clearly the worst thing possible for women's rights in today's world, yet feminists turn a blind eye to it all and declare anyone who says a single bad thing about Islam as an Islamophobe. There is undoubtedly a correlation between Islam and misogyny, no matter how small that correlation may be. The Cologne attacks on women earlier this year is just another of many examples of how Islam demeans women. You're welcome, society.